Almost got a trailer kind of finished up here. I need to put a top on it and some fenders and stuff, but getting close. But masked up and routed out a little bit of pressure treated stuff from out at the shack, and we try a little experiment with some G12 green glow powder, some Envirotex pour on high gloss finish, and the inlay. So I've already done this with the Rust-Oleum glow paint. Don't waste your time. It doesn't glow very long, even if you fill an inlay with it. It's crap. I guess they used one of the old chemicals from the 70s. Don't quote me on that, but my limited reading through reviews and that kind of stuff saying that they're using an older kind of glow powder. And it all sinks to the bottom and the sides, so if you do have any of that Rust-Oleum stuff, make sure you mix it really well. And if you're going to use it for something like this, just scrape the bottom. You might want to pour off the top and just use the bottom of the can. Then you might get the effect you want, but it still won't glow very long. So this is G12 powder from ReadySetGlo. If anybody can, give me a better source for the actual powder, they're not too bad, but yeah, it glows really nice. This stuff I think is 10 to 12 hours if you give it a really good charge. So hopefully this will be outside, and I don't know, we'll try out this high gloss finish and see if it sets very well or see what happens. So they really want you to double mix here. I'm going to be mixing with powder, so, and bubbles probably going to be a little bit inevitable. They're wanting you to double mix so that when you pour into the other cup, I'm pretty sure it just helps it from bubbling up too much, or gets rid of a bunch of bubbles. That's an issue when you're doing a finish, but I need to mix powder in it, so I'm just going to mix the hell out of it with the powder. When basically the company that sent me the powder, ReadySetGlo, they sent me the wrong package first, which was a whole lot bigger than my order, which I returned, but inside they had a nice little piece of paper telling you how you should mix it. And on that piece of paper it said mix your resin with or into the powder, not the other way around. Guess it gives you a little bit more control, but yeah, I guess you can go back once you've or you can't really go back if you put too much powder in and that's all the resin you got. So I'm probably gonna fill this up with a little bit of powder to start, and then mix in a bit of resin, and we'll see. I kind of want to find out how much one of these little containers will fill this area, so I may have to do it a little bit more than I want to. May be able to get a bigger container too, so we'll see. One thing to note, this glow powder, at least in the Rust-Oleum paint and that kind of stuff, is quite heavy. So what I was also hoping to probably do is lay a bunch of this powder down, kind of like if you were you'd put glue down if you're doing sprinkles or sparkles. Yeah, sprinkles. Doing sparkles on crafts, that kind of stuff. Lay a bunch of glue down and then let the glow powder go on, shake it off. But I'd like to fill the inlay and then sand it down a bit. So I'd still might go with a little bit of that method. I'm just not sure how the pour will affect it, if it'll displace a bunch of that powder sitting there. So I don't want a couple holes where each of the pores were, but if it does self-level and level nicely, some of that powder may just float down to the bottom. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, so one method may work better than the other. I'm getting a little rain, so it's time to bring this inside. I was outside for the light, so may get a little darker inside. Okay, so I kind of realized here that to try and film this, and at least with the GoPro not on a tripod, that kind of stuff, in my giant mess here, is going to be a real pain in the butt. I've also realized bringing this stuff in from the sunshine that, wow, does it ever glow. From the other stuff, it's a very fine powder, kind of like a flour. So this, pretty sure you're supposed to mix the. I'm gonna call it epoxy, just because it's probably basically exactly what it is. Oops. See, now I'm already making a mess. All over my hands. I'm gonna be glowing all night long. What a mess. Alright. Try not to dunk this Should probably have my mask on. It's probably not the greatest thing to breathe this stuff either. So I guess we're just gonna do both here. I'm probably just gonna tap some of this powder in here. This might actually be kind of bad, because I may screw up how it adheres to the wood here. But, trying to get as much glow in this frog as possible. I have some other colors that once the resin's in there, I'll probably toss on some spots and stuff with the other colors. The rest of that in there I'll probably mix up with the resin. This might not be nearly enough on here. It might be too much. I don't know. I'm going to try and clear off my areas here. And it's pressure treated just because it came off a deck project, really. I was kind of thinking it might end up going back into the deck. So keep as much of the pressure treated stuff as I can and maybe trim down and maybe become part of the deck. Should be kind of neat. Frogs sit there and get charged up all day long, and then a strainer or something, it might be nice to do this. Just kind of sift it, or like a cookie or baker's kind of icing sugar thing. That might be handy. I'll be generous here and fill them up real good. And then we'll do a nice good green resin as well. I just want to make sure he glows real good. Real good lax. I missed a spot? Yeah, probably. Okay, it's probably enough to get me in trouble there. ease off anyway, but if I get a big glob of powder stuck there, it'd probably be a little tougher to remove and sand. Finger in there or something. All right. Fill them up. Now I'm just going crazy. Because now I got too much powder in here. You can't really shake it around, you can't really blow it around. So. Hopefully the resin will help make this work, and this much powder isn't going to screw me. Possible. Okay, he's going to really glow. I bet if we turned out the lights, he'd just glowing like crazy right now. So let's mix up some resin and see what happens. If I should just do capful to capful, I don't think I have any measurements on these cups, so do an inch to an inch and dump in some powder. Can do that, I suppose. Three-quarters of an inch, I guess. Because full inch or half inch, 3/4. So we got a freaking resin and a hardener, so call it resin, but the resin's in this one, so I'm gonna call it epoxy. High gloss finish. So fill up right to the line. It's about there, I think. Roughly. Probably just go where. Okay, so the hardener don't smell too great. Don't breathe this. All right, and in goes some. Probably mix this around first until it's nice and clear, like they say and stuff, but the thing is with the epoxy is you generally form a chemical reaction, and that started now. So this stuff's going to start to get warm, and so it's pretty bubbly here. They want you to pour it into another container to make it not so bubbly. And then you can hit it with a blowtorch if you still have bubbles on the surface and stuff when you're... Yeah, probably not. Follow in the directions I talked about in the beginning here. Add it to your powder, but... This is quite an interesting goo. I can see a lot of powder. It doesn't seem to really be dissolving or anything, but that's perfectly fine. Oh, it's like slime from when we were kids. Stuff my mom really hated because it would get stuck into everything. You could buy it in those like 25-cent machines, which are now like $1 and $2 machines, and kind of rare. Really rare, but don't see them nearly as often as you used to. I mean, they still have cheap stuff from China, so. And now they all have technology things and movie rentals and kiosks like that. We have a fair bit of goo here. This reaction's going, so I either gotta start pouring. Well, I should probably just start pouring so I can see if I need to make more, which is probably gonna be the case. It is very green. Kind of looking like exactly what I wanted, which is always an awesome feeling and sign. So definitely gonna need some more, so pour as much of this out as I can. Trick to this is trying not to get it on the wood. The more you get on the wood, the more you gotta sand. It was kind of looking kind of creepy there, but I gotta get some of this moved around and try and fill as much as I can here. I should probably make some more as quick as I can. So we're gonna eyeball this again. There. And more powder. Trying not to create a mess all over the Shapeoko. Okay, some more powder is in there. Mix as quick as we can. Oh, without trying to make a huge mess. I don't know how quick this stuff really sets, but it's self-leveling. But at this point, I'm like how well this goo has come out here. I'm really hoping that the powder I laid down in the beginning isn't totally gonna muck me up. But if it does, you learn from it. And I bought most of this glow powder to do Halloween stuff, but this kind of came up as an interesting thing to try. Just the frog for something that's used a little more than Halloween. So yeah, those areas I'm just gonna try and put a decent glob into and fill it with the stick. Filling the frog with goo. Now, this Envirotech stuff, I'm gonna stir up because I can. See my colors change a little bit here. I don't know how long it takes to set. I'm gonna have to take a look in the instructions a little more. But I think it's 24 to 48 hours on a thin surface. This is doing an inlay, so might take a little bit longer than that. It may be reasonable enough to stick outside like tomorrow morning kind of thing and just let it be. But looks like I got a little bit too much over there. Probably have enough in there. Just need to touch up the eyes and these toes, knees and fingers. Yeah, it doesn't want to flow because I put powder down. So if you're gonna do this, don't put the powder down, and it'll flow into areas like this better. Once you've got stuff in there, it'll all self-level anyway. But the powder there is creating bits of problems. But Just gonna have to do a little bit of sanding, I guess. Okay, I think we're gonna have a glowing frog. Pretty darn sure about it. So I'm gonna clean up here and that all cleaned off real nice. A little bit of a glob or two here. See, it's that powder that just won't. Hopefully that kind of soaks in and doesn't make it fall out. Hopefully it just makes it glow quite a bit more. Doesn't act like flour. Should have been thinking a little bit better when I did it, but oh well. So hopefully it shouldn't have really too much to sand down, and a little glow-in-the-dark frog embedded in the wood. Sweet! Okay, so kind of basically used the shish kebab skewer to pull as much off of this as I could and get it back into the container. What I was able to salvage out of that, I went back to the Punisher skull and filled in on the skull. I'll have to do the outside maybe a little later, maybe in another color, I don't know. But the blue would be really nice, but I don't have very much of it. But yeah, I could do a little bit more green and fill in this, but yeah, maybe I'll do that now, I guess. And then I kind of reminded myself of how messy and sticky you get and all that stuff. If I'm gonna do some more, I think I'm gonna go grab some gloves. So I'm just going right over top the other glow paint, the Rust-Oleum stuff. Maybe the glow from this stuff will keep the Rust-Oleum stuff charged. Oh. The less cleanup I gotta do on this, the better. 'Cause as I'm dripping up top here. Plenty of a little cleanup here and there. We're more or less filled in. So now that these are more or less done, I'm gonna probably put this guy under this side. Just to prop that end up a little bit. It's kind of flowing off the edge, giving me more to sand. Hopefully that's a little more level. Yeah, so now that these are good, I can let them cure. And we'll go from there. See how they glow.